Here in our house, we put together an exhibition of works by Jane Garbett from Painswick. We've arranged it in our sitting room, in our dining room and the hallway, in an environment which is typically just furnished with antiques and mirrors and pieces like that. But here we have arranged the contemporary paintings in amongst all of this, and it's actually added a fantastic contrast to the previous environment where we've got these incredible paintings of various shapes and sizes arranged in an interior design scheme in combination with the antiques and the furniture and the works of art.
My name's Jane Garbett. I'm an artist from Painswick, Gloucestershire, and I'm here with Aleph Contemporary at the home of Nick and Galia, who run Aleph Contemporary, and I'm here showing my work, Lifelines. This body of work has been completed over the past year, and the work is a continuation of my exploration of paint. So these two paintings are important because I felt they show the journey. They're earlier than this body of work, but they're very key to it. So the first painting you can see has a sense of abstraction, but there is also the landscape in there, and that's because I am interested in the forms of nature and I work thinking about nature, although I still consider these to be abstract paintings. But I'm very inclined to drag up and scribe through to the surface of the paintings. I find it very compelling. And it was whilst doing the first painting that I thought, well, maybe I could do a painting where I just scribe through, why not? And so with the second painting, you've got the layering of paint, but the simple blocks of one colour, varied slightly. I've put in what might be described as a horizon line, but I've just scribed across. And I realised that a painting can be made with just those simple factors. And in fact, I've simplified it more, as you'll see with the body of work. Okay, so this painting is part of the series, and this one in particular shows my interest in colour. Now, one of the ways I paint, I actually restrict myself to just the three primary colours and mix my shades from red, yellow and blue and white. That includes black. So I find that's easier because I can then repeat the colour that I want, that I've mixed, so that I can keep that colour consistent. And this is what is going on in this green painting. So the way this painting is constructed is the first layer, I've chosen the shade that I want after repeatedly mixing different shades of green. I select that shade and then I repeat that mix and paint that right across the canvas as evenly as I can. And again, that isn't easy if you're not getting a paint straight out of the tube, and I'm trying to keep that consistent colour. And again, the variation and the life that comes out of that is really important, and it's about imperfection again being okay and giving it life, in fact. So I mix the first shade, and then I choose another shade to go on the top of that colour, and you'll see that the edges are shown so that you can see. And what's fascinating is how when you place one colour against another, you see the colour on your palette, but you place another colour next to it, it completely changes that colour. And that is what I'm really interested in, just for myself. And I hope that it creates a painting that other people, a surface that other people will be interested in. So with this one, I've done the second green layer, and then I've put a third layer on, but this time it's not fully painted, it's done with a dry brush, so you see the colours underneath. And the next layer is a much paler, bluer colour, and again it affects the greens as well. And so it gives a surface that has life in spite of its simplicity. Okay, so we can see a body of work here together on one wall, and I just wanted to talk about how placing the paintings together has a similar quality to actually making the paintings, because as you place one painting near to another, like you'll notice the gold painting with the red and then the blue, all these colours start working by just being next to each other, and that's also a fascinating part of my process. These three paintings are 15 centimetres by 15 centimetres. and they're painted on panel and they're identical in that sense. But again here, what really interests me is how this lower one with the geometric shapes that come out of the painting creates a larger feel to the painting than the ones that are closed in. And these are the kind of possibilities that I'm playing with within my practice, which is keeping me going. It's very interesting. So I'm here with my sketchbooks and I'm just flicking through, and this is where I put my ideas quite quickly as I go through my day, sometimes with leftover paint, sometimes actually working out the colours that I want to use. So you can see here some that I've done. These are all in the sort of yellow ochre palette. Here you can see some of the ideas that I had for the blue painting behind me, and over again. And it does actually take me a long time to actually get the right colour that I want, the right shade of blue and the right shade of green in the other painting, or the right shade of orange. I only use actually generally cadmium red, ultramarine blue and yellow lemon and white, and I mix all the colours that you can see here from those three, and I also mix the black from red, yellow and blue. And that again, it's so important to me that I can track how I've made the shade of black, and also or whatever colour it is, and also to give life to the colour. A black in particular from a tube is so dead. So the show's called Lifelines, and these two paintings in particular show the lines very clearly. And what I'm trying to do as I scribe across is to keep my line as straight as I possibly can, and this inevitably fails. And when you get to the bottom, you'll notice that where it's gone wobbly, there's some lines are wider, some are narrower, but that gives it, again, its life to the surface, but also it felt like a human trace as I'm making them. And it feels like life. It's a metaphor for the ups and downs as we go through our days, and that it's okay, that's human and that's who we are.